कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ यशोदानंदन प्रजननंजना यशोदानंदन प्रजननंजना यमुना तीरा कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ यशोदानंदन प्रजननंजना यशोदानंदन यमुना तीरा Jaya Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Stotara Shatasya Srimad. His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. ISKCON Samstapakacharya saved the whole world. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakte Bhavati Naishtike. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, entitled The Cosmic Manifestation. Chapter 9 answers by citing the Lord's version. Text 35, the third of the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Ucca Avacheshu Anu Pravishtani Apravishtani Tatha Teshu Na Teshu Aham Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. Combine that Bhuteshu with Ucca as Bhuteshu Cha. Bhuteshu plus Ucca is Bhuteshu Cha. And Ucca plus Avacheshu is Ucchavacheshu. Ucchavacheshu. So all the three combined, Bhuteshu, Ucca and Avacheshu, together they become Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. And Avacheshu and Anu, when you combine, it becomes Avacheshvanu. Shvanu. So you should read it as one word, the whole line. You should read it as one word. It is actually a compound word. It is not one word, it's a compound word. You should combine, there are 4 words there. Bhuteshu, Ucca, Avacheshu, Anu. 4 words are there. So all the 4 are combined in what is called as Sandhi in Sanskrit. So the Sandhi becomes Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. One word. Try to pronounce, all of you. Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. So by practice you will get it. Just combine the whole thing and slowly say it. Say it a little slowly. If you say fast, then it becomes difficult to combine. Pravishtanya pravishtani. Pravishtanya pravishtani. Tatha teshu na teshvaham. Tatha teshu na teshvaham. Tatha teshu na teshvaham. Yatha mahanti bhutani. Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu. प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम्. Third line also, pravishtani, apravishtani, combine that, pravishtanya, pravishtani, nya. That sound nya should come when you combine. Pravishtanya, pravishtani. And last line, only the last two words are combined. Teshu and aham, teshvaham. That va sound should come. Teshvaham. Only the last two words in the fourth line. Yes. Anybody else wants to chant? यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि यथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् Yatha, just as Mahanti, the universal, Bhutani, elements, Bhuteshu, Uccha, Avacheshu, in the minute and gigantic, Anu, after, Pravishtani, entered, Apravishtani, not entered, Tatha, so, Teshu, in them, Na, not, Teshu, in them, Aham, myself. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything. Translation with repetition. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything. Last paragraph of the purport, fifth paragraph. The Lord can award anyone and everyone liberation, mukti, from the bondage of material existence. Yet, He rarely awards the privilege of love of God as confirmed by Narada. Muktim dadhati karhichit sma na bhakti yogam. This transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps the deserving devotee always wrapped in psychological activities. without deviation from the absolute touch. Thus, love of God developed in the heart of the devotee is a great mystery. Brahmaji previously told Narada that the desires of Brahmaji are never unfulfilled because he is always absorbed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Nor has he any desire in his heart save and except the transcendental service of the Lord. That is the beauty and mystery of the process of Bhakti Yoga. As the Lord's desire is infallible because he is Achyuta, similarly the desires of the devotees in the transcendental service of the Lord are also Achyuta, infallible. This is very difficult, however, for the layman to understand without knowledge of the mystery of devotional service, as it is very difficult to know the potency of touchstone. As touchstone is rarely found, a pure devotee of the Lord is also rarely to be seen, even amongst millions of liberated souls. Kotishvapi Mahamuni. Out of all kinds of perfections attained by the process of knowledge, yoga perfection in devotional service is the highest of all and the most mysterious also, even more mysterious than the 8 kinds of mystic perfection attained by the process of yogic performances. In the Bhagavad Gita 18.64, the Lord therefore advised Arjuna about this Bhakti Yoga, Sarva Guhyatamam Bhuyaha Shrunume Paramam Vachaha. Just hear from me again about the most confidential part of the instructions in Bhagavad Gita. The same was confirmed by Brahmaji to Narada in the following words. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Yanme Bhagavatodidam Sangraho Yam Vibhutina Tvametat Vipuli Kuru. Brahmaji said to Narada, whatever I have spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained to me by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am advising you to expand these topics nicely so that people may easily understand the mysterious Bhakti Yoga by transcendental loving service to the Lord. It is to be noted here that the mystery of Bhakti Yoga was disclosed to Brahmaji by the Lord himself. Brahmaji explained the same mystery to Narada. Narada explained it to Vyasa. Vyasa explained it to Shukadeva Goswami. And that same knowledge is coming down in the unalloyed chain of disciplic succession. If one is fortunate enough to have received the knowledge in the transcendental disciplic succession, surely he will have the chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and that of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this last paragraph of the purport, Prabhupada is explaining that the mystery of devotional service is the mystery of the personality of Godhead is understood only by devotional service. So this devotional service is to be awarded by the Supreme Lord. It is not something that somebody can demand. And even awarding devotional service is very rarely done by the Supreme Lord. It is said here by Narad Muni, Muktim dadhati karhichit sma na bhakti yogam. The Lord can award anyone and everyone liberation. Mukti He can give, liberally He can give. We have example. Any asura killed by the Lord is given liberation. So it is very clear, He very liberally gives liberation. And of course those who are pious souls, they get liberation by jnana yoga, by hatha yoga, by tapasya. If they perform tapasya, if they perform they cultivate spiritual knowledge, or they worship the Lord. Anybody following any one of the bona fide processes can get mukti. Lord easily awards mukti as compared to awarding bhakti. Whereas bhakti is rarely awarded by the Lord. Why? Because what happens when the Lord awards bhakti? He gives Himself up to the devotee. He Himself offers Himself to the devotee. So such a thing is very, very, very rare. So bhakti means actually you are purchasing Krishna. So what is the price you have to pay to purchase Krishna? Naturally, you cannot give Krishna something which he has already got. That he is not interested. So you give him some wealth, you offer some praise, you offer some anything you may renounce, anything you may offer, any commodity, anything that you possess, even you offer your own self. That is not what Krishna wants. Krishna will not give you bhakti for any of those things. But Krishna offers bhakti only to those who attract his attention by loving devotional service, by spontaneous devotion. Spontaneous devotion is Raga Bhakti. In this month of Kartik, Damodar month, we were singing one Damodar Ashtaka. The special thing about Damodar Ashtaka is that the devotee is praying for this Raga Bhakti, for this spontaneous devotion. That spontaneous devotion is not easily given by Krishna. Rather, if we want to get that spontaneous devotion, first of all, we have to come out of this business of demanding something from the Lord in exchange for doing something. This is called the fruitive mentality. The fruitive mentality is, I will do this, then you give me this. That the Lord can award, that even demigods can give. Why Krishna? He has empowered the demigods. Of course, demigods can give only specific things. They can't give everything. And also demigods can give only after you fulfill certain conditions. But Krishna can easily give something which, just like Indra, many times Indra will perform so much of tapasya to get some material benefit. Sometimes Indra will go to Vishnu when everything else fails and pray to Vishnu. I am in trouble, or I want this, I want that. Vishnu will easily give. But if Indra were to pray, I want bhakti, that is not easy. That is not easy to get. Lord will give only if you approach the Lord through His confidential devotee. This is the secret of bhakti. Only if you approach the Lord through His confidential devotee. This is the secret of the devotional service of the Brajavasis. The Brajavasis never directly approach Krishna. Never directly approach Krishna. They always approach Krishna through another devotee. That's why whole of Vrindavan, they are actually absorbed in singing the glories of Radharani. Not so much of Krishna. You go to Vrindavan even now, what do you see? Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. They don't chant Krishna's name. Isn't it surprising? Vrindavan, land of Krishna. And what are they chanting? The Brajavasis particularly. What are they chanting? Radhe Radhe. That is because they can get bhakti, they can attract the attention of Krishna. They can get bhakti only if they approach to Radharani. So this is the secret of getting bhakti from Krishna. And Krishna only can award it. Nobody else can give bhakti. Krishna only can award it. But Krishna is so much attached to His confidential devotees that if the confidential devotee recommends, then Krishna very easily and liberally gives away bhakti. So Prabhupada is one such confidential devotee of Krishna. Our acharyas in this special parampara, pure devotee parampara, in the Bhagavad Gita, at the end of the introduction, you see the names, 32 names. So all of them are confidential devotees of Krishna. So through them if we approach, then we can very easily get bhakti. But otherwise Krishna does not give bhakti. Even if somebody performs tapasya for millions of lifetimes, exclusively performs tapasya for millions of lifetimes, but does not go through a confidential devotee, they cannot get bhakti. It's not possible to get this raga bhakti. In fact, somebody who exclusively worships Krishna has already got bhakti. But what is that bhakti? That bhakti is the devotion which is offered in reverence, reverential devotion. Reverential devotion. That reverential devotion, yes, that is available through the proper practice of Bhakti Yoga itself, through following all the rules and regulations. If somebody strictly follows the rules and regulations and strictly makes the progress, systematically follows and makes progress, gradual progress, then one can get reverential devotion. Of course, that is also rare as compared to Krishna awarding anything else, some other mystic perfection or liberation or some material benefit. Those things are more easily awarded. It is little difficult to get this reverential devotion as compared to other things. But most difficult, and we can even say impossible, if somebody directly approaches Krishna, it's impossible to get Raga Bhakti. What is this Raga Bhakti? This Raga Bhakti is spontaneous devotion, just like the Brajavasis. You can imagine, you see one picture, Krishna is sitting, I don't know whether it's here, and one calf is licking his feet, and one gopi is fanning him. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How dare one calf will come and lick his feet? Calf is coming and licking his feet. He is the Supreme Lord. What is going on? So this is called Raga Bhakti. The calf doesn't really bother. Oh, he's Supreme Lord. How can I go and lick his feet? See? So the spontaneous devotion is such that they don't care whether Krishna is God or not God, whether he is supreme or he is not supreme, they don't care. Spontaneously they have got love for Krishna, and that love breaks all rules and regulations. Just like the coward boys when they are playing with Krishna. One coward boy, he will defeat Krishna in some game and say, now you carry me on your back. Krishna will carry. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But his position is unchanged, and in exchange of love with his devotees, confidential devotees, he doesn't care for his position. He doesn't care what the exchange involves. He has given himself up to his devotees. Devotees can do whatever they want with him. So, that Raga Bhakti is only to be found in Vrindavan, nowhere else. So that's why it is said to enter Vrindavan means to enter the spirit of Raga Bhakti. Not physically you go to some place and say, I have entered Vrindavan. No. To enter Vrindavan in the spirit of Raga Bhakti. Only then we begin to appreciate what is this spontaneous devotion to Krishna. And if somebody prematurely, you see again the Sahajiyas, they are interested in Raga Bhakti, but they prematurely try to enter into Raga Bhakti without properly approaching Krishna through the confidential devotees. This is where they make the mistake. They also chant. They are also interested. They may also be very serious. But where they are making a short circuit is that they are directly approaching, or they are approaching to somebody who is not a confidential devotee. So that's why you see the whole difficulty that ISKCON is facing as an organization after Prabhupada passed away. That who is the guru from whom devotees in ISKCON should take Diksha? Now, Diksha is a formality they may take from somebody who is not a confidential associate of the Supreme Lord. But if you want to take Diksha, to get connected with this parampara of confidential associates of the Lord who can award this Raga Bhakti, then you have to take from Prabhupada only and nobody else. In this parampara, we are talking of this specific parampara. So, this is where the difference is. They think that simply it is a formality. Or somebody can teach you how to chant Hare Krishna. Somebody can tell you, explain you some verses from the Bhagavatam. This is not what the Diksha is. This Diksha is Prabhupada taking you into this parampara, accepting you in the parampara to prepare you to get Raga Bhakti. And that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute. What is Chaitanya distributing? Chaitanya is distributing Krishna Prema. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishna Prema is only possible for those who have this Raga Bhakti. So, this Raga Bhakti by which we get Krishna Prema, that is being distributed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also makes one condition, even though Krishna makes the condition that you fully surrender to me, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not make the condition of surrender. He says that some or the other, you chant Hare Krishna without any conditions. Spontaneously you chant Hare Krishna, you glorify, you call out Krishna. With heart filled with love, you chant Hare Krishna. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, he will give you this Raga Bhakti. Liberally He will give you. He will not see any other condition. Now to chant this Hare Krishna spontaneously, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given a process. Cheto Darpanam Arjana. Initially you chant following the rules and regulations of sadhana bhakti, and gradually your heart becomes purified. As your heart becomes purified more and more and more and more, then a stage will come when you are fully purified and the chanting continues in that purified stage to take you to higher levels of nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema. This is what is explained by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That even in this process of sadhana bhakti, gradually your following the rules and regulations will transform into spontaneous bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. Even before Raga bhakti there is a stage called Raganuga. Raganuga means you are following in the footsteps of devotees who are having Raga bhakti. Initially it is just rules and regulations. You hold the mala like this, you chant clearly, you hear properly, you don't commit sinful activities, you rise early in the morning, you read every day or hear every day Bhagavatam, all these rules and regulations. But following the rules and regulations, you come to the stage when you want to accept shelter of a confidential devotee who can actually guide you and you follow in his footsteps, Raganuga. But that Raganuga comes after Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is following the rules and regulations, Vidhi. Following Vidhi is called Vaidhi Bhakti. So follow the Vidhi, rules and regulations, strictly follow. And then you become serious and then you want to actually take Diksha. Taking Diksha for what? For the sake of following in his footsteps according to his specific instructions for this Raga Bhakti. So that is called the stage of Raganuga. Anuga means to follow. And follow whom? Not just anybody, not just somebody, but specifically follow the devotee who has got Raga Bhakti. So Raganuga Bhakti. Then Raganuga Bhakti leads to Bhava Bhakti. By following strictly in the footsteps of a devotee who has got Raga Bhakti, you develop ecstasy by chanting Hare Krishna while doing devotional service. So you rise above and beyond just purification, just understanding your constitutional position, just rendering some service. Beyond that, you rise to the platform of spontaneous service. Because you are experiencing ecstasy, you completely, that's what Prabhupada says here, this transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps the deserving devotee always wrapped in psychological activities. Wrapped means completely absorbed. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got this Hare Krishna mantra from Ishwarapuri when he went to Gaya to perform his father's Shraddha. So he began chanting, and his chanting right in the beginning was completely absorbed in the sound of that Hare Krishna, in the thought of Krishna. So immediately he came to ecstasy. And in that ecstasy he is completely absorbed in chanting as if he has become mad. And that is what worried everybody at home. What has happened to him? He is chanting Hare Krishna, okay. But then he has become mad. Always Hare Krishna. Always absorbed in Hare Krishna. So, that is the stage of spontaneous devotion. Completely absorbed. The transcendental devotional service, devotee is always wrapped in psychological activities without deviation from the absolute truth. One will never lose touch with Krishna. One will be completely absorbed in Krishna, thought of Krishna. So that is possible by following in the footsteps of the Raga, devotee has got Raga Bhakti. And before that, we have to go through the stage of Vaidhi Bhakti. The rules and regulations are important. The Sahajiyas, they try to skip these rules and regulations. They say, we are not interested in those rules. Because following strictly the rules and regulations, in one sense, it leads to the reverential devotion. The reverential devotion where there is no spontaneous love. So that bhakti which lacks spontaneous love is not very much relishable for the Lord. It's not so relishable for the Lord. So if you want Raga Bhakti, yes, you have to practice this spontaneous devotion. But to practice spontaneous devotion, you have to first go through the rules and regulations of sadhana. So rules and regulations, then you accept to follow, agree to follow a devotee who is situated in the stage of Raga Bhakti, who has got Raga Bhakti. And then you actually follow his specific instructions for awakening this spontaneous love within your heart. And when that is awakened, naturally it has to awaken. There is no artificial method to awaken this. There is no artificial method. It has to naturally awaken. It is something natural. It has to awaken. You have to patiently wait by following. First of all, you have to follow the rules and regulations. Then you have to actually follow the specific instructions or the rules, the conditions laid out by the pure devotee, by the devotee who has got Raga Bhakti, by the confidential devotee. And then you have to wait patiently when the day comes, when there will be. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expresses in Shikshashtaka. What is that? Yugayakam nime. No. Before that, what does he say? 6th verse. 7th verse is Yugayakam nime. Before that, what is the 6th verse? After Aidandatanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mamishame Bhavamudam Krupaya Tava Padapam Nayanam Galadashtu Dharaya Vadanam Gadgadarudhaya Gira Pulakaya Nichitam Vapu Kada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati. When will the time come when there will be tears flowing from my eyes? That spontaneous devotion is awakened. When will the time come? So that means there is a period where after this Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam, you appeal, you pray to Krishna, pick me up from this ocean of birth and death and place me as one of the atoms, dust of atoms of dust at the lotus feet, at your lotus feet. After that surrender, complete self-surrender, then you await that stage where naturally tears will flow from the eyes, not artificially, not forcing oneself, not demanding from the Lord. So that is a natural awakening within the heart. And it happens without any endeavor on the part of the devotee. So that stage, after that comes Yugayakam Nimeshana. In that stage, one begins to feel the separation from the Lord, even one moment of separation like 12 years or more. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virena. I can't stay even one moment without the Lord. Entire world is vacant without the Lord. So that then Ashvishava Padaratam, then the final perfection of service in separation, unconditional service in separation. This spontaneous love leads to that service in spontaneous love. So this Shikshataka, if you strictly follow the 8 verses, step by step, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us how to start and make progress and come to this thing. So that is being explained here, that the Lord awards mukti to anybody and everybody, but He rarely gives this transcendental, loving, devotional service. Is Radha. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute. Because whenever Krishna comes in any other incarnation, he distributes bhakti. He comes to give bhakti. When he comes as an incarnation, he comes to give bhakti. But that bhakti is reverential devotion. That bhakti is reverential. This raga bhakti, he only distributes when he comes in his form as Krishna in Vrindavan and when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Vrindavan also, you see, everybody does not have access to Vrindavan. Everybody does not have access to Vrindavan. Even the demons who go to kill Krishna, they are actually approaching Krishna as Vasudeva Krishna, not as Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is having his spontaneous loving relationship with the Brajavasis. Not that Krishna. That Krishna is inaccessible to all these other devotees who are actually connected with him as Vasudeva Krishna. In Dwaraka, in Mathura, in all other pastimes, even as Vishnu, he is Narayana. And all other incarnations, he is awarding only reverential bhakti. But as Krishna in Vrindavan, he gives raga bhakti. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again he liberally distributes his raga bhakti. So that is the special thing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation. Anyway, so here it is explained the confidential knowledge about this spontaneous devotional service. That is what is being explained to Brahma in these 4 verses of the Bhagavad. So stop here. Bhagavatam ki jai.